How collaboration can improve connectivity and weather forecasting. Hi, my name is Otávio Celidonio and I'm the Executive Director of AgriHub. Well, AgriHub is a non-profit institution from the FAMATO system here in Mato Grosso State, Brazil, which promotes open innovation and diffusion of technologies for the agribusiness sector. As the youngest son of the FAMATO system, as you can see here in this chart, FAMATO organize and represent producers in our state, so we exist to understand the main challenges from the agribusiness sector and where they are. And we exist also to foment the creation and adoption of these technical solutions by the farmer. So, in 2017, when AgriHub was taking its first steps, this is a project at that time, we interviewed some rural producers from 4 regions of our state, and we identified more than 200 challenges. As first lesson, we understand that one of the biggest challenges is to precisely choice of a digital solution to adopt and develop. Therefore, we elect 2 main work fronts at AgriHub. The first front is the Technology Diffusion Program, and the second is the Open Innovation Program. On the Technology Diffusion front, we with the support from the National Rural Learning Service from Mato Grosso State, SENAR, we decided to work on the development of a platform to support the choice of these technological solutions. So, to guide this choice from the AgTech solutions, we decided to create a standard map of the agriculture process, showing which company have solutions for each stage. We also look for methodologies to classify the level of maturity required by each solution. And we also rank some differentials from each solution, such as cost, quality of their technical assistance, among other criteria. Well, as a second step, we decided to do a continuous mapping of the startups and their solutions. Brazil already have more than 1,200 startups focused on the agriculture sector. So every week there is something new happening here. In addition, to ensure the integrity of these indicators, we created a alpha producers network where these farmers could be part of tests from these AgTech solutions and could help us to have more quality in our data. We also created a network called AgriHub Pro to prepare any professional who serve producers to use our platform and thus to help their customers to choose and implement any tech solutions. Well, talking about our other front, the open innovation front, we developed partnership with some big companies to support development these new solutions. We have as sponsors companies like AgroAmazonia, Amage, Bayer, and TMG. And basically, what we seek to accomplish is to identify their common pains and look for some solutions. With these information in hand, we call for startups that can solve this challenge through a collaborative development, and we help these startups with agile methodologies, develop their proof of concepts, and we also offer an open network environment to they interact with the sponsors, and also we provide some mentoring programs to develop their ideas. Well, going to our main topic, the constant meets with farmers, companies, and startups, led us to identify some transversal issues that could be tackled with some collaborative solutions. With this view, we decided to open our third work front at the end of 2020, called Project Orchestration. So we decided to attack 3 vertical solutions on this orchestration projects front. The first one is the connectivity front, the traceability, and then the weather forecasting. So these are the 3 main topics about the orchestration projects. Well, the connectivity was naturally chosen due to the problem of its lacking most of our rural area here in Brazil, especially Mato Grosso. To have an idea, Brazilian agriculture census indicate that the region with the highest percentage of agriculture area with internet is the South region, with just over than a third of its area. The Midwest region, where Mato Grosso is located, has only 5% of its total area coverage with 3G or 4G open connectivity. Mato Grosso is just a state who have around 10% of this world soybean production and 30% of the Brazilian soybean production. Despite this, producers already understand that connectivity is essential, so much of they already have internet. As one of investigation from IMEA show, 85% from the Mato Grosso producers already have internet in their headquarters, but as the census show, just 5% of them have their total area illuminated with internet. So they understand that this internet is very important for their works, and not only that, they really understand that this kind of connectivity is really important to keep the families and the laborers on the rural areas. So this is why some solutions like NB-IoT or LoRa are not going very well here. So we understand with that this lower data capacity that talks only with machine doesn't help the producers as they want. They really need and want some 4G solution, and this is very important also to help them with some of new technology that use more data. Well, the solution to bring in 4G solution to the field is not that easy. We have to invest a lot, so it's not cheap for an individual, but it's affordable for a group of producers. So what we decide to do is look for some collaborative solution to create this kind of infrastructure. We have to create some arrangements and ask some companies to help and solve this classical game theory problem. What we decide to do to overcome this collaborative game dilemma, we together with the Cotton Producers Association and one association called Conectar Agro, we've formed by some big companies like CNH, AGCO, Bayer, Trimble, Solinfitec, Jacto, among other companies. We idealized a project for bringing 4G internet to our 10 million hectares of grain production in Mato Grosso state. The proposal focuses on the opportunity to create a bonus point system exclusive for the investment in connectivity and infrastructure. Thus, part of the company's revenues in the defined region would be converted into points and designated to a company to build the 4G infrastructure. Until now, just the companies associated with Conectar Agro reach a potential of 22% of the cost from this project. As the result, the project gained interest of the Mato Grosso government, which undertook to provide half of the funds. So far enough, we virtually could fund 72% of the project. With that, we are currently looking for other partners to move forward and be able to pay all the remaining amount, managing to solve one of the biggest issues in the field of our state. Well, in the vertical of the climate forecast, we also planned a concept of collaboration like in the connectivity. On this front, the lack of quality is also linked to the deficiency of the local infrastructure from weather forecasts. We start the problem looking at the low density of public weather stations. The Brazilian government have less than 40 units of weather station in our state that have the same size than Germany and France together. In addition, we do not have a public weather radar unit here in Mato Grosso. That's very important to create nowcasting and other kinds of weather forecasting. As in the case of the connectivity model, AgriHub proposal is to work with the private information. However, in this case, the scope consists of using blockchain technology to create a data market, enabling maintenance and encouraging the implementation of private structures. In this way, AgriHub will be responsible for creating an infrastructure to process, store, and validate and make available the climate data for any company, any producer. A good example would be the data from the private weather stations, which are currently very numerous and well dispersed across the state. In addition to the problem of the divergent data standard between different manufacturers, one of the bottlenecks is that the private station owners do not follow maintenance protocols, putting their data quality at risk. Well, to get around this problem, one of the solutions would be the creation of an app to validate the maintenance process, leaving the private data source trustable. In this way, the occurrence of data with failures would be reduced, and to compensate the maintenance validation effort, the data owner would receive tokens that could be used to buy forecast service and data. The same process can be done to the meteorological radar infrastructure, allowing those who have invested in equipment of this type and guarantee some new investors to this kind of solution. More than remunerate those who are already invest, the expectation with this proposal is to encourage new investments in equipment such as the radar, whose capex is high and justified for individual producers. However, due to its wide scope, it could be feasible for a group of farmers. In this case, in addition to build a blockchain sharing and security infrastructure, the challenge would be to engage companies and producers to participate and consume a collaborative system data. That's why it's extremely strategic to participate in initiatives like AgGateway, which, in addition to facilitating the work of technologies through data standardization, it connects us with people and companies that want to change the world. So thank you very much. I'm glad to talk with you, and I look forward to see you here in Brazil. Thanks.